YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 60 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is sweets for the treats or treats for the sweets. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, the things we're going to accomplish today are the positive words from the week, the sweets for the treat, or treats for the sweet. Sweet. I took the S off. I should have probably taken it off the sign. It wouldn't have made more sense. And then more back to basics about just getting back on track with my own health and such like that. So I want to cover those areas with you to see maybe it'll help you. Anyway, we're going to start with the positive words. Also I want to mention, before I forget, the challenges. We have Positivity Planner, which I'm going to do right now. We have our movement, which is basically what Back to Basics is going to be all about. And then your alone time, which ends up being your movement time. It kind of coincides if you do it right. Okay. So we're starting with, Friday the 28th was potential, having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. Lead to future success or usefulness. Contribution, something that you give or something that you do that helps in achieving an end result. Leadership, the ability of an individual, group, or organization to influence or guide other individuals or groups. Take action. Catalyst was the 31st, a person or thing that precipitates an event. Stimulus. The first was trajectory, the path of a being or an object that has been chosen, life's course. The second, which was Wednesday, is juggernaut, a huge, powerful, and overwhelming being or force. And then today is miracles, a highly improbable or extraordinary event, development, or accomplishment that brings very welcome consequences. Okay, so there you go. Keep track of those, people. I'm telling you, we're having a whole calendar by the time we're done. Okay, second thing I wanted to show you real quick was a dinner that I posted yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, The Best Blessed Life. If you follow me on Facebook, it's Kristen Haas, KristinHass. And I made a pot pie from leftover turkey soup from Thanksgiving. And no, it was not in my fridge since Thanksgiving. It was in my freezer. Let me get a sip real quick. And basically, I want to show you what I did, but recreate. Except for the fact that I can't recreate the fillings. What it was leftover turkey soup, can't speak today again, that my husband made, and that there was a lot left. So I froze it. I'm like, I'm not wasting this, right? But I want to change it up. I want to make it different. So what I added was leftover stovetop stuffing, already made, and it was probably a cup. 4 kind of more smallish Yukon Gold potatoes, which I cut into, actually I said eighths on the post, but I think I actually cut them into 16ths. So they're more like a slice type of deal. And then I added a can of cream of chicken soup and a can of cream of celery soup. I really wanted to add cream of mushroom, but I did not have, so the celery went well since I was going to add fresh celery. I did add a couple more carrots because I felt like it was a little low. And then I did a little slurry, maybe a teaspoon of cornstarch mixed with a tablespoon of water. So anyway, it came out looking like this, which if you look at it, honestly, doesn't look that appetizing. Okay, but let me tell you about this leftover turkey soup idea. I didn't follow any recipe this time. I went with my own gut. I knew I had to thicken it up, but I didn't want to use flour, obviously, because you need to cook flour. And I didn't want it to be all about the slurry. My dog's down here in the way. You gotta move, bud. And I didn't want it, but look at how thick it got. Look at this. Like, it's... So So I was calling it turkey. Oh, sorry, not turkey. I called it Thanksgiving dinner in a Thanksgiving. Wow, this is just not working out for me today. Thanksgiving dinner pot pie. All right. And I couldn't use the same pie pan that I used yesterday because we have leftovers for today, which I'm really excited about. But what I did was I brought the soup to a boil, essentially, so I could cook the potatoes and the other carrots that I added. Wow, that worked out perfect. And I didn't have another pie plate, so I had this Pyrex. And what I did was get in there. What I did was I pre-baked the bottom shell just a little bit because I didn't want the filling to make it soggy. And I'm not going to bake it before I freeze it. That is one way you can go, and I might even choose to do that after I'm done with what we're actually making today. But I just wanted to throw this out here. You could do this with any soup, leftover, stew. If you don't want to have it as a stew per se, right? Why not turn it into a pot pie? And I used refrigerated pot pie. Wow. Kristen, you should have woke up a little more before you did this. Okay. So essentially what I did was I covered it. I mean, my pie thing yesterday was wider, so I didn't have all these leftovers. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do what I did with the one from yesterday, which is kind of just push it up. And then in order to seal it, because the bottom one, I mean, technically when you're making a double crusted pie, you don't necessarily want to cook the bottom one. But yeah, we're going to have leftovers on the sides. I don't care. Do you care? I mean, come on, people. And then what I did was I took my fork and I just kind of sealed the deal, kind of pressed the two crusts together by pushing it more on the inner part all the way around. I think I did end up doing the edges more. Okay, you get the gist, right? All the way around. Oop, broke it. And par cooking, you poke holes in the bottom. I know the one thing about this thing that kind of backfired on me was because it was so tall when it first started par baking. And I didn't put anything in there to kind of keep it from falling apart, was the sides, because it's so tall. And then you just want to poke holes. And then when you cook it, when you actually cook it, I cooked the one yesterday for about half an hour and it was like perfect, but my egg wash was sad. The egg wash is just an egg yolk with water and you just paint it over the top. Okay, and then you're done. This one you might have to bake a little longer. There's a lot more filling and a lot more crust. So I'm going to say from the freezer you probably want to defrost and then cook it for at least 45 minutes. At least. But keep in mind all your ingredients are cooked except for the dough. Alright, one thing done and easy enough to make in your spare time. Alright, now what we're doing today is I am making some brownies for my son's professor, who has been such a strong guiding force for him, and I wanted to show my appreciation. She's like the mom for him a lot of times when he needs to talk through stuff. She's helpful because she is his lighting design professor, so she not only helps him with jobs, but helps him decide about jobs. So he just took a job. I posted on Facebook and Instagram about working with a theater where he will be traveling around just the Colorado area for a little bit. And then he will go to New York for a because it's a traveling play. that he gets this opportunity, and she helped him work it through and everything. So I really, 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 really wanted to show my appreciation. So, you know, my philosophy about baking is that when you make something, you want to use it as a vessel to deliver the goodies, kind of, right? So my theory is make the dough or whatever you can as healthy as possible, so that when you get to all the parts that you want to add to it to make it sinful, it won't be so bad. Okay? So that's the process we're going through today. And we're making a coconut flour. I'll get it yet. Coconut flour brownies, okay? And this is by, let me get my glasses, on Pinterest, of course, making it with you for the first time. And you know I have to add my 2 cents in. So it's made by Detoxinista, Detoxinista. Okay? So, first things first, we preheated. She made them as a in an 8x8 square pan. I have decided to make them bites, for the reasoning being that they are traveling and I want to keep them as contained as possible. Maybe she'll want to freeze some later, and it's just so much easier to have a nice little portable. And it's like a serving size, so it's even better. Okay, so here's the recipe, and she's just the author of the coconut flour brownies. We are actually making turtle brownie bites. So if you can see, it's 6 tablespoons of coconut flour, 4 large eggs, which has an asterisk by it, so you know I'm substituting. I'm trying to get the glare off there. 1/3 of a cup cocoa powder, 1 cup coconut sugar, and I have a substitution for that. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I actually did a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1/3 cup melted coconut oil, 1/2 cup of dark chocolate chips. And then my add-ins are Rolos, pecans, 2 ounces of coffee, and Greek yogurt. You know me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because after I made this recipe, I decided to make them cheesecake brownie bites. So you know me, I can't just do normal. But, you know, everything about the dough itself is not too bad, and frankly, the only things that are going to get you are the actual sugar. So the substitutions are as follows. For the 4 eggs, I forgot to get my Greek yogurt for that part. For the 4 eggs, I'm doing crap, I can't remember what the substitute was. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about this part. Let me pause you for just a second here. Alright, sorry about that. I just figured it would be better to get the Greek yogurt off camera then. Okay, so in the large bowl, we're combining the flour, the eggs, which is our Greek yogurt, cocoa powder, sugar, salt, and vanilla. Okay, so the other substitution was the coconut sugar. I did not have a full, that's the cocoa, sorry. I did not have a full cup, so I did 1/2 cup of coconut sugar and 1/2 cup of brown. I'm using the brown because it was suggested that they would be more fudgy-like, and I just thought that would be great with the whole dealio. And then the salt, I told you I did a whole teaspoon, and then I'm adding the coffee, and it's 2 ounces. I'm going to measure to see for sure if I want to use the whole 2 ounces. So let's start. We're going to combine the flour, which is right here, coconut flour. And I just love that kind of nuttiness to the whole thing. And then here's our eggs. Make sure you really get in there good. I might get my trusty rusty spatula out here because I really like that sound. Roller, really though. Okay. So, let me make sure I get it all out of here. Okay. That really wasn't any more. Okay, and then the cocoa, third of a cup. Woo! I'm gonna mix a little bit just so we're not having a big powder fight up here with all the other stuff too. I just want to get that started. Okay. The other reason why I added the cheesecake portion of it is I just think it'll kind of muffle the Greek yogurt effect kind of within this other, you know. Okay, so, and then it's the cocoa, the sugars, so I'm doing the brown, come on baby, and the coconut. Get it in there, really mix it around. And because I feel like Greek yogurt isn't as liquidy as, oh my gosh, as the egg would be, I think the coffee's going to lend itself nicely to this. And you have to have, that is one of the main things. There's 3 things you have to have for chocolate: coffee, vanilla, and salt. Have to. It is key. And then what else was I missing? Oh, the salt. That seemed like a lot. I didn't put the whole thing in. That seemed like a lot. I don't think I measured that correctly. So I hope I didn't get too carried away. And then the vanilla, which seemed kind of wimpy just now. So I might add a little extra. That was wimpy. And now I'm going to add the coffee. I just want to see how much I'm going to need first. So stir until no lumps. Maybe whisk. There's no whisking here. We'll see what happens. I'm going to pour in a little coffee. I want to see how much liquid I really, really need. That sucked that up right away. These are going to be the fudgiest brownies you have ever seen in your life, I think. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what they consider lumps. I think it needs a little more because that wasn't even half. And that coffee I made yesterday, and just, I mean, so you can have it ready to go. I don't know, this is so fudgy. I thought I was going to be able to use my cookie scooper. Let me do a little more. Okay. All right. And then we still have to add our melted coconut and coconut oil. And stir till smooth. Okay. This is the third of a cup coconut oil. Okay. There. And we'll stir that in. Wow. Oh my golly. Okay. Get it in there. Till it's smooth, they said. So maybe I will have to get my whisk out. Check this out. It's literally like fudge. Okay, what else do I have to add? I think that's it as far as like the ingredients to make up the dough. I don't know how many brownies I'm going to get because, like I said, she made, let me just try a little bit of it. Holy schmoly! Wow, is that delicious? I want a little more coffee. I do. I'm a sucker. Okay. It's pretty smooth. I mean, I know that she used all coconut sugar, so I don't know how mine turned out different as far as like texture goes because of it. Okay. And then fold in the chocolate chips. I was gonna do differently. how was I going to do this? Was I going to keep the chocolate chips in the dough, or does it make sense? That's where I'm headed right now. That's where my brain is at. Because I also have Rolos, like I said, and yeah, this one's a doozy. Do I want to just pop them? Because what I was thinking, it was going to do a layer of the brownie and then add the, okay, and I'm going to go through the cheesecake filling that I did. So it's 1 cup of Greek yogurt, 1 cup of milk, and 1 packet of the Jell-O cheesecake, sugar-free cheesecake pudding mix, okay? And it's super duper thick. It's nice, tastes good. Oh, and I added maybe 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I just love it with cheesecake, so it just worked out well. All right, so the problem is going to be, I thought, like I said, let me see. I thought I was going to be able to scoop them. And I might need to do this just so I can get it to the bottom of the pan, but it also might be too thick. And then we press it down. Can I press? Press it down, press it down. Yeah, that might be too much dough. Perfect nougat. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. I want to be able to put the cheesecake, the pecans, the chocolate chip, and the Rolo in there, and then cover it up with another thing of chocolate. What do you think? Doesn't that sound good? But I don't know if that's too much dough. So I bought the Rolos without the wrapper on because that's just how I Rolo. Okay, so then I think that is not my. Well, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to just have to use a measuring spoon and put a dollop. Yeah, I'm definitely, you know what I'm going to need? My darn. Whee! Nope, that ain't it. A baker's best friend. They press that down. Okay. Spread that around. And then it's like, let's see. I don't know if we're even going to need the chocolate chips, but maybe we put them on the top. And then I'm thinking, do I leave the Rolo whole? Just kidding. Do I leave it whole? I think pressing it down, upside down, kind of will get it in there, right? And then we need some pecans. Okay, so there we go. And then another thing of dough, but maybe not so much. But see, here's going to be the dilemma. Am I going to be able to spread out this brownie dough right? Because I'm afraid it's going to mess up my cheesecake filling. Okay, so this is experiment number 1, okay? So we're going to try it this way first. And then I need a smaller spoon, I think. Or better yet, I use a teaspoon from my other spoons that I have. Fill it up. And then I can, gosh, this is going to take me all day, you guys. I don't have that kind of time. So you're going to plop that on the top. And then hopefully, no, it's not going to spread. Oh no. All right. Come on, baby. It is so thick. Come on, spread. Okay. I'm not mad at it. All right. Can you see it? It kind of looks like a turtle. Like the actual candy. All right, So I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to do the rest so you don't have to sit here and watch me do every single one. And I'll be back with you in a little bit. Hang in there, guys. Hi, guys. I'm back. So I figured while I was doing the last couple, I have 3 left, that I would talk to you kind of what I meant about back to basics, more back to basics, getting back on track. But I wanted to show you like the new technique I came up with, because that first one was a little too cream cheesy. So I'm doing a teaspoon of the brownie in the bottom. And who said playing with your food wasn't fun? So you press it down with your fingers. I can't wait to lick my fingers at the end. And then we do a teaspoon of the cheesecake. And I just took a knife and just plopped it in there like so, and kind of like spread it around. But I didn't get too carried away because I knew once I put the Rolo in there, kind of seals the deal, you know, presses the cream cheese outward a little bit. And I'm going to make one for myself without the pecans because I'm using the ones that I can't have. So, but I'm just going to try it with the Rolo. So then I did the pecans on top of the Rolo, and then I took the big scoop, put it on top, let it fall as it may, and then I just moved it to the center kind of and just plopped it down. And the nice thing about these is like I'm not worried if they're a little underdone because most of the stuff that's in here is perfectly fine. Coconut flour is the only thing I would say might be a little weird, but it's really a powder, so I don't think it's going to be that crazy. So if you like them a little doughy, you might be able to get away with that with this. Okay, so far I have 20. I'm going to get 24 for sure. And I might get a few extra, but I'm not going to make you wait for those. But I have to make one for myself so I can try one. The recipe called for them to be cooked for 20 or 30 minutes because it was going to be done in a pan. The problem being is I don't know how much longer I've added to the process by adding all these extra little doohickeys. So bear with me. We'll be judging it as it goes. But what I meant by getting back to basics, it's time to get off my butt and start feeling like a normal human being again. You know, participate in life, stop feeling sorry for myself. So my new motto was, or is, not living by my excuses. So that was a tough one since yesterday we got a pretty decent snowstorm, and about a foot, maybe a little more. But I said, you cannot use this as a reason to not go out today. Are you seeing my fingers? To not go out today. So if you follow me on Instagram, again, it's The Best Blessed Life, or on Facebook, or both. Facebook, it's Kristen Haas, KristinHass. You'll see I've posted for the last 3 days. This is actually day 4, but I didn't have the fitness app on my phone yet. So I have no idea how far I went that day, and it was a beautiful day. I would say it was probably about 45 degrees. The sun was out, the birds were singing. I'm like, this is the most amazing day. I'm thinking I'm getting my steps captured, and voila, it was not to be the case. I know if I went almost 2.5 miles on the following day, that I can't imagine that it wasn't more like 4 or 5. So I'm kind of sad. Because, you know, when you don't get credit for those steps, it hurts a little. I'm not gonna lie. I use that as motivation. Okay, no pecans. I almost did it to myself. I use those steps as a way to say, hey, look what you did today, you know? And it might not be much. Like yesterday and today, not much. Yesterday was 1.5 miles, maybe. I can't remember offhand. Maybe not even. And today was barely a mile. I did it, you know? I went out there and I didn't let the fact that I was going to freeze my ass off stop me. I did bundle up pretty good. I had my son's snow pants on from when he was like in junior high, I think. Okay, so we are all finished. I'm debating on whether I want to just stick the chocolate chips in the top and see what happens if it makes like a little ganache, if you will. So I'm just gonna stick like three chips in the top. The other thing I have, and I don't know if that's getting too carried away now that I'm doing the chips in the top, I just want it to all cohesively cook, and I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, back to basics. So walking is just part of it. Cooking more homemade stuff, like what I made. Even if it's not the greatest for you, at least you know what it's made with, you know? That pasta I made the day before was all just either frozen produce or from the grocery store. I'm not going to say fresh because, let's face it, we don't know if it's fresh or not. Most of the time I get it home and I have to throw half of it away. But I digress. Anyway, so cooking more homemade meals with healthier ingredients, and I don't want to skip out on anything though. You know, you need your proteins, you need your carbohydrates, you need those things. Okay, this might be overdoing it just a scotch, but I really love this lady. She's just the sweetest person. Shannon, God bless you. You have done and given my son such confidence. I didn't know this part was going to take me. These are very time consuming. So if you wanted to make them in the big pan, you know, way better. You could just do a layer of the brownie on the bottom, you know, half the mix, or maybe I don't know, maybe you want more of the chocolate on the top like I did, but I just did it that way because it was easier to press down and it was easier to get all the ingredients into the cup part. So that's where I am right now. And then I just got to remember this one on the end is for me, so I can taste test them. Make sure they're as delicious as they look. But again, remember, these are things. There's no egg. There is milk. There is dairy. But you can change that out if you're allergic to dairy or you have an intolerance to dairy. You can make it coconut milk or coconut yogurt or both. All right. Wish us luck. Here they are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, shoot. I don't want that in there. When I cooked the pot pies yesterday, I put in a little piece of aluminum foil. I don't really need to, oh my golly, I'm going to kill myself on this thing. To prevent myself from having to wipe up a big mess in the oven later. Okay. So they're going in. We'll check them after half an hour. Actually, let's check them after 20 minutes. All right. So back to basics. It's just about being present in your life and acknowledging, like, oh my gosh, biggest mind-blowing thing that happened to me. I think it was the first day. Was if you've probably seen me in other videos, you'll notice I'm like I don't even know. I don't even want to put myself in that position again. But as I started to walk and readjust myself, the first thing I noticed was that my stride was really super duper short. And I think a lot of times as we get older, women especially, I've noticed that we try to not fall. So we try to make these like little baby steps. And especially when it's snowing and stuff outside, it's a really scary time to be just walking around. But I noticed that was causing my inner thighs to tighten up, which was creating this like curvature with my hip flexors. So I was automatically already starting from like this position. And I'm like, that ain't right. What the heck happened? So I'm like, as I proceeded to like make my stride bigger and really taking focus of where my shoulders were, where my head was. So looking down, because you know, you look down, you go down. So was I looking down? Were my shoulders back? That's a big one. I'm always finding that my shoulders are curving in and my chest is aimed towards the ground. I noticed too that as I was walking, my feet were doing strange, weird positions. So it was like either not fully front. And so I really had to make a conscious effort to loosen up and really stretch out those ankle muscles and all the joints get so tight. So I was doing walk where I would step, out, and then in. So it'd be one step out, one step out, one step in, or you could do out, in. It stretches out so much of your ankle. It helps with your inner and outer thigh. It was really great. I was doing a lot of like high knee steps, you know, really bringing your knee up to your chest, really stretching out the buttocks, making long strides, making sure your foot was going all the way back, fully extending leg, not that little bitty step. We want those nice wide strides. Again, being careful. I cannot believe how much my mind opened up the minute I went outside and I just allowed nature to become part of my day. I was just mind blown. I just had the best day. And I'm like, okay, I got to keep this going. So that's what I mean by back to basics. Like, I don't even look at it as exercise. I just look at it as not growing old like an old hunched over old lady. I'm a personal trainer. I know what to pay attention to. I know what muscles counterbalance other muscles, and I know my gluteus maximus back there is a little short on work, and so are my hamstrings. So I really, when I was putting my weight, and then I was doing butt kicks too. I was really noticing it when I was doing that. So observing, paying attention, make sure your chest is up nice and tall. It feels weird. You cannot believe I'm not a tall person, but boy do I feel tall. Boy do I feel more elongated, more stretched out. My neck doesn't hurt as bad. My shoulders feel a little better, but it's consistently stretching. I'm stretching when I'm at home. I'm stretching on my couch. I'm stretching on the floor, maybe not so much. But it is so vital to make sure that you keep fluid. I just can't begin to tell you how much better I felt in just 4 days. So keep in mind that I've been a personal trainer for going on 14 years. So my fitness level has digressed, of course, but I'm also not beyond being fixed. And I'm not beyond seeing a few flaws in my plan and seeing a few excuses that I won't be able to get out of. But I don't let those hurt me. I don't let those make me feel less than. I can't anymore because just as we age and we get older and we feel those bones and we feel everything, just feel cold or you feel too hot, especially us ladies. But there are things we can do. I don't want people to think that they have to settle. That's the biggest part about getting older, is that everybody's just, oh, well, I'm older. I gotta just deal with it. But if you start now, no matter where you are, if you start now, now is going to be the new start. Trust me. Trust me. You saw me last week. I was a little, rushing through things, trying to get things done. But I'm telling you, 4 days. I'm not joking. I did add water. I did add more water. That was the other thing that I had to get back to basics on. And I switched up my vitamin. And I started taking one with iron in it. And I'm going to tell you that probably was another big factor in what worked. So, prescription medication, yes, is working, but I cannot let it lull me into this false sense of satisfaction, so to speak. Gotta keep taking it, unfortunately, for now, until I figure out the best course of action for myself. Eating cleaner, taking more exercise in as I get better. 5Ks are going to be a big deal for me. I'm hoping to get back to them by, I don't like to run in the summer, so I'm going to say I'm hoping, and I'm giving myself a good amount of time to just get back on track. I don't want to do actual 5Ks in the summer, but I will run them from September to probably April or May. So I'm really excited about that. It's been like 10 years since I've done. Maybe 9. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how long it's been. But let me see how we're doing. Okay, so that's all the exciting news for now. I'm going to let them bake for another 13 minutes, and then we'll see where we're at. But I hope you guys take this journey with me. I'm going to be posting a lot more, hopefully. Keep it in mind that everything I post, I try to make it accessible to everybody as far as like what I'm eating and what people are allergic to. So I do try to throw out modifications as well. So if you ever have any questions about modifications or what you could do instead, please put them in the comments section below. And I'll be back in a little bit. Hi guys, I'm back. I don't know if they're done yet. They kind of exploded on me, that was the last thing I saw coming. But I was trying to see if I could get, now that the chocolate chips are melted, kind of spread out. So I took them out. I only was able to get 2 more. So I put those in there while I'm working on these guys. But I thought I'd kind of use it as a frosting. Oh my gosh. That one's mine. The one that has the no nuts in it really exploded the most, it seems like. Oh no, no, no. Gotta be gentle. The brownie's still a little delicate, so I'm gonna say it might not be done. But I don't want to. Some of them caved in for sure. But we don't judge. We don't judge here. It says to let them cool fully before you take them out of the pan. And I think that's just because they're so delicate. And since I did so much other stuff with them, I don't know. I'm a little worried. That one really fell in. That one had the least amount of stuff too, I feel like, though. And that one really spurted out. Okay, so what I want to do now real quick is just check them with the toothpick to see if most of the innards are done. I don't want to stick it through the Rolo though. That's going to be the, I don't know, there's so much stuff in here. It does not feel done. Okay. So I'm going to say they're probably going to have to go for at least 10 more minutes. Trying to find where I cooked this up. They're not the prettiest, like I said, but pretty isn't always delicious. I mean, some things that are delicious are just downright explosive. I got pecans sticking out of everywhere. Okay, let me open this. Oh yeah, there's definitely some residual chocolate running, so I'm gonna touch that hot pan, I guess, because I'm just ridiculous that way. Okay, and then I'm gonna stick it in this way. And surprisingly enough, I'm still considering adding the caramel on the top. Don't hate me, I know. All right, so I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, guys. So a little bit of bad news. I'm not sure they're gonna harden up enough to ship. I'm giving them a few more minutes, but I think my downfall was, and this is, I had to restart the oven even. My downfall was I didn't listen to myself when I said, when you're doing this, put together the bottom part and then cook it for a little bit and then do the rest. Well, I got so excited about getting all of that accomplished that, yeah, I kind of forgot what I was doing. So I have to say, this might be my first, I don't want to say failure because I always feel like I learned something from what I'm doing. So I did learn that I know that I need to cook at least part of it. Am I sad that it took like hours to figure this all out? I'm not the happiest camper. I'm not going to give in just yet. I'm just making myself a latte here to soothe my sad little. I thought I was making myself a latte, but I actually forgot to start it. So you get to hear that blend in the background. Okay. It was messing with me. I'm kind of sad. But I'm trying to take the positive from this. So I think the ingredients were all great. I think maybe putting them in just little cups like that without, like I said, part cooking the middle first. So getting the Rolo a little melted into the cream cheese filling. Excuse me. Would have been better. I'm not giving up just yet, like I said. I have a couple more minutes, and we have to let them cool completely. I did not do that. I did leave them for a good 10 minutes, and the pan felt cool, so maybe I just jumped the gun on that a little bit. But that is where we're at. Hopefully, very, very shortly, I will be able to show them to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, and Shannon, I apologize in advance, they ain't pretty. But if they taste pretty, that's what I'm looking for. Alright? See you in a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Well, I had discussed how they weren't going over well. And instead of waiting until they completely cool, I'd like to give you at least what it tastes like, if the flavors are good, if we can move forward that way. Oh, it might be done actually. They're done. It's kind of I don't know if you can see the ripple of cream cheese in there. Very gooey. Definitely needs to cool. Oh my god, that is so chocolatey. Yeah, you know what I do? I definitely want to add the caramel on the top because I don't taste Rolo at all. I did put a Rolo in mine, right? I wonder if I forgot. Because I don't even... Maybe it moved over to one side. Let me see. Let me get the other half. Oh my god. It is so freaking chocolatey. Like beyond. I mean, one with some ice cream would be enough. Here's going to be my other flaw, is it doesn't seem like I sprayed down in there well enough. And I am just like, I'm torn. Okay, so what I have here is these caramel, you know, they're just, it's just like a caramel dip for apples. I definitely think finishing it off with a little bit of this. I'm going to nuke it. I'm just going to hopefully be able to pour it over. I don't know. I've never. Let's see. Wow. They are so rich. So I'm hoping I'll be able to put together at least a dozen of them for her. Keep your fingers crossed, guys, that it works out okay. But yeah, definitely don't taste the Rolo too much. The chocolate is kind of overpowering the cream cheese filling, or the cheesecake filling, if you will, and the Rolo. So we might have to consider not doing. Let me wipe this off. Let me wash it off. Not doing so much of the top layer. You know how I did a full scoop? I'm thinking, yeah, it's good and hot now. Molten lava. Let's see, let's try putting a little bit. Oh, where's my, you know what I need is my, now that I said I don't need it anymore. I washed it off, I just haven't wiped it off. Okay, so if I can get that spread out, we'll get a little bit of caramel on there, at least. I think that's enough, so I can't even try that part. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Never a dull moment, guys. I'm gonna tell you. So I can't try any more of these because they all have the pecans in them. But flavor profile wise, amazing. I love it. It's super decadent, super chocolatey. I would say maybe cut out the chocolate chips on the top too, because it really does drown out. I'm hoping putting this little bit of caramel on the top will help bring back the Rolo a little bit, because it just got kind of buried. All right, but that's what happens with the Best Blessed Life. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but you see it all here live. Aren't you excited? Well, not live, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's it for today, guys. Fingers crossed I'll be able to ship these out, or at least a few of them. And I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch. I so appreciate your support. And with that being said, I want to say have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching. Bye.